Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How are you students? Hope you will be fine. Alhamdulillah. Raise your hands and recite knowledge du'as. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Allahumma faqqihna fid din. Ameen. Chapter number 2, Gases all around. Today's topic is gases around us. Today we are going to talk about the most important element of life, the air, also known as a gas. Do you know what are the things that are necessary for the life? Yes, we know that the things that are necessary for the life are the air, water, sunlight and the soil. We cannot live without the air, water, sunlight and the soil. Right? Air, water, sunlight and soil are the most important element of life. So today we are going to talk about the important element of life, the air. Do you know why the air is important? Yes, we know that we need air to breathe. Plants, animals, human beings and all the living things need air to live. Right? Without air, we will all die. Plants and animals need air to live. Right? Human beings need air to breathe. Right? Birds can easily fly because there is air. Air is needed for the burning. We can fill the air in the balloons, in the footballs, in the tires as well. Right? Air is also used to move the things such as kites, helicopters, sailboat and the windmills. Right? So air is very important for us. It is the very important element of life. Right? So we should try to keep our air clean. Now the question is where the air is. Air is all around us. Air is present everywhere, in the soil, in the water, as well as air is also present underground in the soil. Right? We cannot see the air, but we can feel it. Right? When we see the toy windmills moving or trees swaying, we know that there is air around us. Right? We can also feel the air when we run. Right? We know that there is air around us. Otherwise, we would not be able to breathe. Right? So we cannot see the air, but we can feel it. Air is important element of life that is present everywhere around us. Right? Wind is a moving air. Moving air is called a wind. Right? Wind is the movement of air near the earth's surface. Right? It can be a gentle breeze or a strong gale. In easy wording, you can say that wind is a flow of gases on the surface of the earth. Right? Wind is mostly the movement of air. Right? So wind is a moving air. Another property of air is that air is colorless, means it has no color. Right? As well as air is also odorless, means it has no smell. We cannot see the air, we cannot touch the air. but we can feel the air, right? Air is colorless, means it has no color. Air is also odorless, means it has no smell, right? Now look at textbook page number 35. Can you see or smell the gases around you? Obviously no. Many of us do not notice the gases around us because most of the gases are colorless and odorless, right? Most of the gases that make up the air around us are colorless and odorless, right? How do we know that they are present in the air? As we have learned that gases are colorless and odorless, then how do we know that they are present? We know that the air is present everywhere, right? We know that air is present when the wind blows. That is a moving air. When we see the toy windmills moving or trees swaying, we know that there is air around us, right? You can also feel the air in your face when you run, right? We know that there is air around us. Without the air, we are not able to live, right? So the properties of gases, we know that air is all around us. It has a mass as well as it occupies the space. It takes the space, right? Air is also colorless. It has no color. It is transparent, right? As well as air is also odorless. It has no smell. We cannot see the air. We cannot touch the air. But we can feel the air, right? The envelope of the air around the earth is called the atmosphere, right? The envelope of the air around the earth is called atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere is the thick layer of air that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere, right? What is atmosphere? The thick layer of air surrounding the earth is called the atmosphere, right? Atmosphere acts as a blanket to our earth, right? As this orange peel explains how atmosphere protects the earth, right? As this orange peel protects the orange, like that the atmosphere protects our earth, right? Atmosphere acts as a blanket to our earth. Atmosphere protects our earth, like that this orange peel is protecting the orange, right? In easy wording, you can say that atmosphere is the cover of earth. Atmosphere acts as a blanket to our earth, right? Atmosphere protects our earth, right? As in this picture, you can see the atmosphere. This one is the earth. This one is the earth, and this one is the layer of the air that is surrounding the earth, right? This one is the earth, and this one is the layer of the air that is surrounding the earth, right? So this thick layer of the air that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere, right? Here you can see the different layers of atmosphere, right? This one is the earth, and these are the different layers of atmosphere, right? The thick layer of air that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere, as The layers of the atmosphere are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Right? Hope you have got this about the atmosphere. That is the thick layer of air that is surrounding the earth. As you can see in this picture, this is the thick layer of air that is surrounding the earth. Right? Hope you have got this. Earth's atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere is a layer of gases surrounding the planet Earth. Right? Earth's atmosphere is a layer of gases surrounding the planet. Right? The Earth is surrounded by a blanket of air which we call the atmosphere. Right? The atmosphere absorbs the energy from the sun. It protects us from the high energy rays coming from the sun. Right? The atmosphere protects and supports the life. The thick layer of air that is surrounding the earth is called atmosphere. The atmosphere protects the earth. Right? Without it, life cannot exist. Right? Now, we are going to learn about that. Air is a mixture of different gases. Right? As air is made up of different type of gases. We know that air in the garden is very fresh and clean because there are a lot of trees in the garden. So the surrounding air in the garden is very quite clean and fresh. Right? It is because the trees release the oxygen in the air, which is an integral part of the air. Right? Trees help maintaining the level of oxygen in the air, which is important for the survival of living things. Right? Air not only contains the oxygen, but there are several different gases that are present in the air as well. Right? In fact, air is a mixture of gases. Air is made up of different gases. Right? Let us find out what the gases are there the air is composed of. Right? As we have learned that air is composed of different gases. Air is a mixture of different gases. The biggest component of air is nitrogen. Right? The two major components of the air are oxygen and the nitrogen. Right? 78% of the air is made up of nitrogen. Right? While the 21% of the air is made up of oxygen. Right? So, the two major components of air are the oxygen and the nitrogen. Right? Nitrogen and oxygen gases form the 99% of the air. Right? 99% of the air is made up of oxygen and the nitrogen. Right? 99% of the air is made up of nitrogen and oxygen. Right? The remaining 1% of the air consists of carbon dioxide, water vapors and the other gases as helium, neon and the argon. Right? So oxygen is vital for the survival of humankind and the nitrogen is very important for the plant life and in turn for the animal life. Right? Here you can see a pie chart that is showing the composition of a air. Right? As we have learned that air is made up of different gases. Air is a mixture of different gases. The most abundant gas in the air is nitrogen that comprises of 78% of total air. right? Then the oxygen, that consists of 21% of the total air, right? Then the remaining 1% of the gases are carbon dioxide, water vapors and other gases as helium, neon and argon, right? Now look at textbook page number 36. There is a thick layer of air called the atmosphere surrounding the earth, right? This layer of air is essential for the life. Without it, living things cannot survive, right? So what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is the thick layer of air that is surrounding the earth. Without it, life cannot exist, right? The air around us is mainly made up of following gases. Underline the name of the gases: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapors and tiny amount of noble gases, means inactive gases as helium, argon and neon, right? So it was all about our today's lesson. Hope you have got this. As we have learnt about the properties of air, we have learnt that air is present everywhere around us. Air has a mass as well as it occupies the space, right? Then we have learned that we cannot see the air, we cannot touch the air, as air is colorless and odorless, right? We cannot see the air but we can feel it, right? Then we have learned that air is a mixture of different gases as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and the other gases as helium, neon and argon make up the air, right? So air is a mixture of different gases. Air is made up of different gases, right? Air is present everywhere around us, right? We cannot see it but we can feel it, right? Air is colorless and odorless, means it has no color and it has no smell. We cannot see the air, we cannot touch the air, but we can feel it, the air, right? That is a mixture of different gases, as air is made up of different gases as oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, helium, neon and argon make up the air, right? So it was all about our today's lesson. Hope you have got this. जज़ाकल्लाहु खैरन कसीरा। सुब्हानकल्लाहुम्मा व बिहम्दिका अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता अस्तगफिरुका व अतूबु इलैक। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू।